In this chat today, we will have the opportunity to understand which is the open innovation approach and the open innovation journey of a big Spanish company. This company is Naturgy, and the pleasure to have with me today Alejandro Sánchez, that is corporate venturing at Naturgy. Welcome, Alejandro.
Thank you very much, Alberto, and the pleasure is all mine. Thanks for having me.
So, Alejandro, I think it would be good for our audience, just first of all, to get a sense who is Naturgy, what is the size of the company, the industry, again, the main areas of activities. I know, but probably not all of our audience might know it. And then immediately go through what has been thus far the open innovation journey, what you have done, what you are planning to move forward. But let's focus first on Naturgy.
Naturgy is an integrated gas and power utility. We do both distribution of natural gas and electricity in Spain. We are the first gas utility here and the third power utility. We also do power generation with gas cycles and also renewables. Our investment plans for the future are all in wind and solar energy. And we also have the final customers. So we serve more than 3 million homes here in Spain with both products. So we are integrated utility into sectors. This is maybe what it makes us different for our competitors here in Spain. We also have operations in Latin America, mainly with distribution business, both gas in some countries and electricity in some others. And also we have a branch with international power generation in Mexico, and now business is being developed in United States.
Talking about innovation and specifically open innovation, meaning innovation with external partly, most of the time startups and scale-ups. What has been the open innovation approach and journey of Naturgy thus far?
Okay. Well, innovation in Naturgy was born as a branch or a spin-off of the engineering department. So it was very, very focused in technology, deep tech, as we can understand it today. And little by little was migrating towards a more open approach, more related with the startup ecosystem. It has lots of explanations, but the main I will say it's that the world and our sector is changing very, very fast. So a big company cannot innovate by itself anymore. Big corporations are not designed to try new things every day, and especially corporations like us, which are managing strategic assets of a country. So we cannot just try the lean startup approach and let's see what happens if we do this, we do that. We are not designed for that, and we should not be designed for that, because stability of the national power system and the security of supply are our main drivers. But this doesn't mean that we shouldn't innovate. We should innovate and change the way we do things. And in this journey, there are no better partners than startups. Startups are organizations specifically designed for innovation, for fast trying and iterating new solutions, and we can understand each other, of course. I usually tend to think of open innovation departments as translators between these two different cultures. And well, in the case of Naturgy, we have been very more intensive in our contact with the ecosystem since, I will say, 3 years ago, in which we started to change our approach to the ecosystem and stop just looking for technical solutions and start looking also for new business models, new ways of working, and specifically having a direct contact with the ecosystem, being much more present. Instead of having scouters bring the technical solutions we were looking for, well, there is a lot of value in getting to know the ecosystem and the people working there. It's, of course, it's not as cost effective, maybe, because, well, you're not paying another people to do it, but you're having dedicated resources to it, and it's tiring, it is exhausting, that's for sure, but it is absolutely necessary to get to know them, get to know the ecosystem in order to be able to translate effectively among one culture and the other. And you cannot, it's like, well, maybe sometimes corporations and startups are compared with different animals. Here in Spain, there is a very popular report called I don't know, something in the lines of mixing elephants and gazelles. So we, the corporations, are the elephants, and then there are the gazelles over there. Well, you cannot get to know a gazelle if you just look at them at a zoo, for example, or someone present you the animal. You need to go to their ecosystem, see how they interact with each other, with other elements of the ecosystem, etc. And that's what we are doing.
And from an organizational standpoint, where the innovation unit sits, who is reporting to?
Yes, well, in this last iteration, there was a division. Naturgy today has 3 main divisions. One with the regulated business. The other, in the other extreme, is the more customer-oriented business, and we are in a division called Renewables, New Business, and Innovation. So we are in the division specifically designed to develop new business and innovate. Of course, invest in renewable new development plans, but we depend directly from the managing director of this division.
And in terms of, again, when we talk about open innovation, when we present that, unfortunately, there is not one single way to work with startups. There are multiple ways of working with startups, multiple tools. One of them are corporate accelerators. Others is called venture client. Another requires investing, so it's called corporate venture capital. And there is the building of new solutions, so that is called venture builder. And then there is the presence in the main ecosystem that is called innovation outpost, innovation antenna. Then there is extracting ideas out of your employee base, is called intrapreneurship. Looking at all these tools, what you're currently operating, what you plan to operate.
Yeah, because, well, I will start in some kind of order, maybe historical, because all the tools you have mentioned are tools that we will love to have. But of course, resources, time especially, and money are limited, so we need to start somewhere. And well, probably we can start from the end. In our case, we believe that our mission is to prepare our company, Naturgy, to be able to respond effectively to the challenges, both present and future, that our business are facing or will face in the future. And this demands a high amount of agility in order to be able to adapt. And as I mentioned before, who is the more adaptable company or kind of organization right now? The startup. So we believe that we will need to have, or at least be able to operate in a startup way for certain new business development. So we are looking at the venture builder as the main tool, or the main focus we currently have. Be able to simulate or to replicate the way a startup operates. And for this, we need two things, because sometimes when you want to launch a new business, you will need experts in launching and managing businesses, especially in these initial stages, and usually with little money. So we are trying to develop an entrepreneurial ecosystem around Naturgy. We want to get to know entrepreneurs related to our company. And for this, what we have launched 3 years ago was an incubator. It's an incubator based, or well, around verticals based in energy transition and sustainability. We are very open here because for us, well, the incubator is called Connecting Energy. We want to connect experts inside the company with experts outside the company. And it is an exchange of knowledge. We provide the startups and the entrepreneurs and the teams with our knowledge about how business are run, the regulation, our sector, etc., etc., etc. And we learn a lot from them too. We learn about their new technologies. We learn about new ways of doing things, especially, as we mentioned before, with little money and with a high amount of agility. So this is the first step. Why was the first? Well, because
so what you call incubation is substantially is what is referred to the corporate accelerator. So you're incubating external startups, right?
Yes, we are incubating external startups. We didn't call it accelerator because we focus in early stage startups. Why early stage? Well, because it was a competitive space which was pretty clear. There were no competitors, or very few competitors there, because well, when of course the probability of failure is much higher, and usually an incubator will charge some amount of, well, not money, but probably equity, and of course they want to have some equity that values something, that is valued something in the future. Our approach is different. We assume that it is an exchange of ideas, of knowledge, and we want to help them. We are not volunteers because we are learning a lot, and our partners internally in this adventure are the people in human resources, specifically the corporate university, because we assume that this is very interesting for us as employees to get to know and to learn a lot, and to, well, try to put in practice some of our abilities. And well, this is something that it was, well, I'm not going to say easy, but it was pretty straightforward to build internally. I had some previous experience as a mentor. I joined a network of business angels back in 2015, and since 2 years later, I started mentoring some of the startups we had there, and well, continued. And after some time, I noticed that, well, my expertise was in finance, and I was teaching all the startups the same thing, but every startup teach me something new. So we try to replicate this experience inside Naturgy. And I would say that right now is a huge success. I think that all the mentors, which are all employees of the company, are learning a lot. They are contributing a lot to the development of their projects. There was a prize in Spain from El Referente, which is the main startup database here, and the winner was one of our first incubated companies. So we're very proud of them. They're called Clevergy, and well, on November 19, 2023, won this prize from El Referente, which was, well, for us it's very interesting to see how the companies that we have helped to grow in this early stage are achieving things. And well, also some of the entrepreneurs told us, well, you guys believe in me when nobody else does, and that's very valuable for me. So for us, it's also a way of well, putting the brand Naturgy and InnovaHub in the ecosystem in a very positive way. And well, the other half of the venture builder, as we interpret it, is the internal ecosystem of entrepreneurs. So for us, the entrepreneurship program is not a way of having the next Google or the next whatever. It's a way of first detecting that talent that we have with some, I will say, some curiosity or willingness to do different things apart from their day-to-day obligations. We also detect that talent and the skills that maybe are completely obscure for the rest of the company because they do not have any relationship with their day-to-day obligations again. And we want to generate that ecosystem of people because those are the ones that in the future, when we are ready to really try to look for disruptive solutions that we need to launch internally, those are the first candidates. So we have on one hand the external people that can and know how to build a company, and internal people with all the knowledge of the sector and the regulations and the business of the energy markets, which is a very, very complicated or complex, at least, sector. So venture building in the future, incubation right now, entrepreneurship right now. I did not mention the venture capital, which is, well, for us, it's more difficult. I think that it is a tool that I think it's very, very useful because it helps us diversify the technologies and the startups, the businesses we can get in touch with. Because just doing projects in a venture client way, which is something that we are doing when we go out there with our scouter or with our scouting team, because now they are internal people, to look for startups. Of course, we want to do projects with them. We try to look for startups wanting to test their technology in a real life environment. We have several industrial environments. We have designed as real life laboratories, and they can try their technology, and well, we help them increase their TRL. But this is not the only thing we do, and of course we can only do this with a very limited number of technologies and startups because our laboratories are designed in a certain way, and we just try to develop these pilots with our more core strategic or more core technologies and businesses. But what happens with all that technologies and businesses that are not in our core today, but maybe in the core in the future? I think that venture capital is great for these startups that do not have a strategic fit today, but maybe in the future. So for me, a venture capital is just a portfolio of options, future options of new businesses that may explode in the future and maybe a huge thing in the future, even though they are not currently in our strategic scope.
No, you say it right. I think the goal of the CVC, when properly used, is to build up a strategic optionality. So going beyond Horizon 1, try to add some potential bets in Horizon 2, Horizon 3 areas when they come out some potential new businesses, new areas of diversification, new technology, new business models. So that's the goal. Unfortunately, it requires big pockets because, again,
yes,
effectively run a CVC fund. Currently, the average size is closer to 1 billion than to 50 million. So, and that's probably makes it just that the big ones can afford to have a tool that is properly designed.
Yeah, that's the point we are right now. Currently seeing, well, of course, investing in companies is not in the core of the activities as innovation we need to do. So we're trying to develop an understanding that, well, we are not doing this for the sake of investment. We are looking for a lot of different things. But then the discussion may drive towards different directions. So, well, are you going to invest directly or through an external VC? Yeah. Well, I think that both ways make sense. For example, well, for those technologies more close to your strategic core, probably the direct investment will make more sense. But just for the sake of exploration, probably an external VC is the way to go. Well,
yeah, both options are technically used on the market. Typically, big CVC fund do both. I think that Having a direct investment allow you to be closer to the driving seat, not to steer the wheels, but to at least to take a deeper look at what is happening. The problem of being just an LP in third-party funds, you are substantially watching a program that has been selected by others. There is a lot of interesting things, but probably it's not exactly what we want.
Yes.
And again, strategic distance is important parameter. The problem is strategic distance to what? The core business or the future business? So again, if you invest too close to the core business, sometimes investment not even needed. And again, venture client is the tool and does require an investment. You can collaborate with something that's close to your core business. Why? When you need to take a look at something that is far away from what you're doing today, but may be interesting tomorrow, you need a different tool, and investing might give you, as said, some more visibility and more insights that you can get if you are outside of that or too far.
Yes, absolutely. And well, that's the point where currently in this arena, we're trying to define.
Talking about venture client, that is something that, again, you are experimenting. Actually, we met last year in a project that we have run in partnership with Castilla y León, and we offered the opportunity to select a group of mid and large companies from the regions to get potentially to get exposed to international mature solutions, international mature scale-ups at global level. And again, we met over there, and again, you have been part of this experimentation, and as far as I know, it's producing some good results. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. When we met, as you mentioned, we were trying to solve a problem that the people in the development department or the division had, which is, well, can we remotely supervise the evolution of on-site works? For example, when we are developing a new wind farm or a solar farm in Castilla y León or any other community, because usually how do you do this? Well, you send someone to check that everything is in place and the works are progressing in a timely manner. Why it is? Because, well, every day you are out of connection is money you're losing. So you have a huge opportunity cost there. Usually in these contracts, you may have some clauses protecting you from delays, etc. So it is important to monitor the evolution and try to anticipate any problem before it arises. So we need to be in constant constant monitoring of the evolution of works. But again, this is expensive, and as now the sector is growing and we are building and developing different new plants, then you have a people problem. You cannot send the same guy to two different places at the same moment, and you cannot grow your team indefinitely. So, well, how to do this? And well, our colleagues in development told us, well, is there any development solutions? And well, I will say that this is something that we didn't try before, because, as you mentioned, you are providing through your platform more mature startups, which are not usually met in the channels we try to look for them, because we usually, as innovation, are more focused in lower technology readiness levels or lower maturity stages. So through this program, we launched the challenge. Okay, we want to remotely supervise the construction works, which is a very difficult environment because it is highly unpredictable. When you are building something, well, today you will have a hole in the ground that was not here yesterday, and then 2 days later you are going to close it up, and today you will have some here a pile of metal or different components that was not yesterday, etc., etc. So it was challenging even for robots. So, well, the challenge was launched, and in a really short time, maybe 4-5 weeks at most, we were presented with different solutions, and it was very cool because what was more liked by the people in development was the simplest one. So sometimes we are looking towards robots, four-legged robots, wheeled robots, and that kind of stuff, satellite images, or something much more simpler. Because, well, you have humans there. You have plenty of humans. Why not getting those humans to record what they are seeing and then treat all that images with a powerful AI in order to obtain all the information of how that construction site is evolving. And well, that's what we saw, and I think that in the same day the solution was presented, we closed a meeting with the people of the company, and well, then we started the purchasing process in order to work with them in a trial to see if it was really as powerful as it seemed, and also to test how this kind of solution will be accepted by the people working on site, because there are also privacy issues, etc. But fortunately, all these kind of companies, well, have dealt with this kind of problems before, so they will.
That's the beauty of working with mature startup. We call them scale-ups, because again, they have the size and they have the expertise. Sometimes,
yes.
I think
so it was wonderful. Any question we have, they solve it. They have a solution. Okay, is, well, will you, for example, will you blur the face of the people appearing in the videos in order to protect them? It's, well, of course, we are not going to only blur their face, but also the complete silhouette of the people. So there is no way you can identify that. It's okay. Well, we are going beyond our expectations, so that's great. And yeah, that's the beauty of working with more mature scale-ups. That, well, unfortunately, they are not big enough to raise the alarms or catch the attention, better said, of the traditional channels. So I think that fills the gap between, well, what we used to do with startups and what the established business used to do with traditional vendors.
You made quite a good point here. That is substantially is the difference between what we call technology scouting and traditional procurement. At the end, there is no difference. Substantially, you are procuring solution from third parties. But in the traditional procurement schemes, you have a clear solution and you typically go to the usual list of suspects of company you have been working with for looking for a solution, and you ask for a price. Over here, you have a solution, or actually, we have a problem. The problem turned into a solution. The solution is probably not 100% well defined. You have core solution that some areas TBD. As you see the solution, you say, okay, what about blurring the faces? What about this problem? What about that problem? And then, or maybe also the solution tell you, actually, you should also consider this, and that. This is important that you probably have not thought before. And then, so you have not a clear, defined problem. You have a partially blurred problem. You have a problem that is not 100% well defined. You go outside. When you find some solution, you direct you to properly craft the problem, design it, and do the matching. So this is why we call it scouting, because it's an iterative process. And maybe you meet a couple of companies and you find the right ones, the right one to use to define the solution, and then together you work for building up the solution. That is what we are currently doing with OpenSpace. It is this Californian company.
Yes, that's a company we're working with. Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's been a good example of collaboration. I think the journey that we did together, also the support of the Castilla y León region has been fruitful. Hopefully more results to come, and hopefully the collaboration that you initiated with this startup is just one of the first of a long series, and hopefully you will be conducive to good results that at the end are reduction of cost, improving the quality of your services, and that at the end is what really matters. So thank you a lot, Alejandro, for sharing your experience, and let's keep up with the good work.
Oh, thank you, Alberto, for this opportunity. And yeah, let's hope that